and welcome back to the Cock Dice. And here we have it at the end of a very, very long 6 months. That is my Painted Sisters of Battle Force. We're done. That's New Year, New Army for 2021, with the general intention of finishing a lot of stuff that was in my to-do pile, with a few extra purchases and builds here and there. We got it done. So I'm going to focus in. I'll show you through a few of the units and what I've done since the last video update. And talk about the army I'm going to use. So this here is my new 1000 point force. Obviously when I built this army originally, we had the 8th edition codex. Handily, GW have just released the 9th edition codex about a week, 2 weeks ago was it, from this video, which has forced me to make a load of changes. I'll show you in a minute, I've got a load of special weapons and heavy weapons spare because I can now only field one per unit of 5 sisters. So this is a battalion. We've got a Canoness at the front here. Nothing overly special about her. Essentially she's going to take Bookus and Lucius and Blessed Blade, and she's just going to hang around with her buffs. I think I can't remember what Warlord trait. Oh, the Warlord trait is going to be the Improve the Shield of Faith one. We've got Palatine. She can be swapped in for the Preacher if I want to, but there's no real combat element to this, so the Preacher seems a little bit superfluous. I might slap it, he's a bit cheaper, so I could slot him in and do some extra, a few extra special weapons and upgrades here and there if I want to. I'm not sure about that yet. We'll test her out anyway. The new Dogmata I converted the other week. She's definitely come in for the buffs. Again, she's going with the Shield of Faith buff, so between the pair of these I can get a 4 up and Vuln on a couple of units that hang around nearby them. We have 3 units of sisters themselves, so we have a unit here, 5 sisters, which is with a Stormbolter, another 5 sisters here with a Melter Gun, and another 5 sisters here with a Melter Gun and a Superior with a Combi Melter. So that's my 3 troops choices. We've got a Dominion squad over here with 4 Flamers and a Combi Flamer. They'll be riding around in this thing, getting as close as possible. This is obviously armed with a pair of multi-melters, but the weapons on this are interchangeable. I could easily swap in heavy flamers or heavy bolters if I fancy it. I know the Immolator's not considered to be that good at the moment. It's a lot of people are saying it's overcosted. I'm going to try it out. We only play 1000 point games generally, so it's going to be quite interesting to get that on the field and burninate stuff essentially. I think someone referred to this as the Flaminator at one point. I need to put some heavy flamers on it and just flamers and more flamers. But I wanted to put some extra heavy, extra vehicle killing power in the army. So I've got the Retributors over here as well. So that's going to be a unit of Retributors with 3 multi-melters and the standard. I've got a couple of melter guns in squads, and I've got the tank. So I haven't got a huge amount of armour killing power. I usually face Marines or Custodes, so we'll see how that goes. Another fast choice at the back here. It's a slightly bigger than I was planning unit of Seraphim. I've still got 2 melter pistols here. There's a pair there and a pair over this side. The recent stratagem changes means I can't do the flying down, shooting at slightly longer range that they used to be able to do. So I think they'll probably start on the board now, and I'll use them to nip round and grab objectives. The other element of this is the 2 Penitent Engines. They've had a relatively recent buff and are considered to be pretty good these days. So I'm quite excited about trying them out. They've chewed through things before. They're nice stompy robots. They look a bit aggressive, so they can get up in front of the army, really get in front of people's faces, and try and put a bit of pressure on them. So that's the initial 1000 point force. It's gone down all right. It's going to go out for hopefully its first game tomorrow night. But I've used elements of it before. I've been playing this for the last couple of weeks with the new one game with the new codex, one with the old. So we'll kind of see how this plays. What am I going for? I'm going for a custom order. I'm going with the Ignore 1 AP and the Melter Gun one. So the I cannot remember the name of it for the life of me, but there's a Melter Gun order ability which gives the rapid fire assault melter guns always count with being in half range. So I've got 1, 2, 3 of those that are essentially going to shoot out at max range, doing their extra damage. And the ones on the vehicle and the retributors get their damage bonus at 18 inches range. So that's going to have no problems getting into within 18. And on a small 1,000-point board, those lasses shouldn't have too much trouble either. Obviously, it means I am losing out on the move and shoot buffs of one of the major orders. And unfortunately, this was originally going to be a Valorous Heart thing, so I've got some extra figures like the Imagifier, which are now completely useless because they don't get their "we're just not going to die" rules, which is a pity. But I thought the -1 AP, that will at least take out things like assault intercessors with the chainswords. It'll take out auto bolt rifles, not auto bolt rifles, normal Primaris bolt rifles, because they're all -1 AP. It'll take out bolt guns in tactical. They get an extra AP, don't they? Was it just heavy that gets the extra AP? I can't remember what tactical doctrine is. So yeah, I'm not massively fond of this. The nerfs of the book have forced me into playing this because this is basically what I've got painted. That'll change over time. I'm going to start adding to this now. I've got once it's on the table, I've got a few games with it. And I must buy another box of Sisters because I haven't actually got enough bolt guns. I've only got one more spare other than the ones that are in squads here. So I can't field bigger units of Sisters at the moment and still keep the battalion. So I definitely need another box of Sisters themselves. I want to get another box of Retributors, really too. You might notice sneaking in the back here is a heavy flamer pretending to be a multi-melter. So I want to be able to do 4 multi-melter squad. I also want to be able to do a squad of 4 with heavy bolters. I'm quite tempted to put them in because they're quite cheap. Get them on a backfield objective somewhere and just chuck out some firepower. They should be great against Marines. I'll try the tank out. I like the tank. I'm determined not to use an Exorcist. Kind of like playing with one hand behind my back, I know, but we'll see how that plays out. And obviously I've got a whole bunch of other options of other stuff I've painted, and we'll just swing across those now. So yeah, on this side is essentially my spare models. So I did have a couple of whole extra squads previously, but I've had to borrow some models to make legal squads again, because as you might notice, I have a collection of storm bolters. So we've got extra storm bolters, we've got some heavy bolters, we've got another heavy flamer over here. I've got some arco-flagellants, 6 of them. That's what I've got. They came in the starter box from the other year. A couple of extra cherubs. I just basically painted up everything I had. I don't like to waste models and just paint what I needed for the army, so I just battered through a lot. A couple more Seraphim, so I can swap them in if I want to do a smaller squad with all bolt pistols, or a pair of squads with. I've got enough to do 10 Sisters in with jump packs. We'll see how they play out. I can see small units of them, maybe 5 Sister squads, jumping around and just grabbing objectives and stuff. Could be quite useful. A couple of extra characters. So I did my priest originally. He was going to feature in the army. Now not so useful. He was just my second cheap HQ, and obviously I did the close combat chainsword armed Canoness, whose chainsword has now had a massive nerf, so she's going to have to use the other chainsword, the non-order one. Whilst I've painted basically all my Sisters models I had bought at the beginning of the year, handily I got some new stuff too. Which order should we do these in? Oh, we'll do this one first. I love them. I know lots of people dislike the Num suits. I think they're absolutely awesome. Such cool models. So I'm going to be building these girls this week. I'm going to go with 3 swords and 3 more heavy bolters. I want to keep them pretty cheap. Oh, and storm bolters on the top. So pretty cheap. I think that's the cheapest loadout you can do for the 3 of them. Lots of DACA. So we'll have 6 storm bolters plus 4 heavy bolters, and the swords are pretty good for chopping through Marines, and they don't get the -1 to hit that the maces do. So I think that's the way I'm going to take them, especially if I can get one round buffing character around some Dogmata or the priest, or possibly even chainsword Canoness hanging around with them. Or alternatively, my favourite model of the range. Oh, she was such a purchase. Absolute overkill in small games. I don't think she'll hit the table that often, because between these two, that's like half my normal points I play.
But no, I thought Mother Val was such an awesome model. She had to be bought and go in the army. So it's an empty box. She's been built, just finished her custom base, and I'll be getting some paint on her in about a week or so's time, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna have a week or so off this army now. I've got some Marines bits to finish up. I've got all sorts of other projects on. So I'm going to be taking a short break from painting any sisters. I'm going to get the army on the table, get the local club this week, get them out, see if I can hopefully get 1,000 points on the table. We've been playing some small games, just building up our knowledge in 9th over the last few weeks. So we'll kind of continue that and figure out how well it goes. I'll get a bit of a feel for the force and feel which direction I'm going to go into in the future. So yeah, I'm really excited to use this force. It's looking forward to getting it on the table. It's come out really, really nicely. And so yeah, thank you for following the journey this year. And thanks for joining us here at the Clock Dice. Why not like this video and add a comment below? It really helps boost the channel. And while you're at it, if you click on the icon below, you can subscribe to the channel for all the latest updates as soon as they're live. Why not check out some of our other videos and playlists? You can click on the ones on screen right now. Take care, and we'll see you next time.